Hello. One major advantage of these expedition virtual tours that we're doing is they allow us to visit places that we can't easily access. That could just be due to the distance that they are or security restrictions. Well, in today's trip, we're going to be doing just that. We're going to go inside a location that most people will never ever be able to visit unless you're a little bit special. It's not because it's top secret, it's just because they don't want visitors to come in here. So let's go and see where it is that we're headed to. So as you can see, we're traveling along. We're driving through the Menlo Park area as we're heading to today's location. I wonder if you can guess yet which company we're going to go and visit. It's right on the edges of San Francisco Bay and Menlo Park, which is about 30 miles southeast of San Francisco itself. Properties here, they're among the most expensive in the world. Houses cost as many as $1 million or $2 million. Now, if you see in a moment, you'll see a clue coming up as to where we're headed. Keep looking. Now, unfortunately, properties are too expensive for the thousands of tech workers based in Silicon Valley. So many of them, can you see it yet? Choose to live in areas around San Francisco. And they don't tend to drive in. Most of them use company provided coaches to commute to their work. So we're just arriving into the car park. Now, for a lot of people, they don't see much more of this company other than the car park itself. There's lots of buildings and there's about 45,000 people who work here. Have you guessed it yet? Well, I'll give you a few more bits of information. So, Silicon Valley, it's grown as a popular destination for tourists on a sort of tech pilgrimage. There we are, okay. And some will come and they want to pose for selfies outside this sign, which used to have another company's sign on the other side. Now, I suppose these tourists, they see Silicon Valley as the Hollywood of tech, and due to its global popularity, success, power, and notoriety, top of the itinerary is a visit to the Facebook headquarters. But most who arrive here are disappointed, and I'll explain why. Unfortunately, unless you know somebody who works here at Facebook that's willing to take you inside for a privately arranged tour, all you'll get to see is the car park and maybe the like sign just outside. Now, before we head over there, there's something I need to tell you that if you linger around too long here and you're not a visitor, you'll probably encounter the Facebook police. So before we do that, I think we should just pause here. So I thought it might be a good idea to get in touch with somebody who works at Facebook, and you probably know who the first employee was. It was Mark Zuckerberg himself, or Zuck as he's known to his friends. And if you wanted to get in touch with somebody at Facebook, well, you're going to use probably Facebook Message, aren't you? So I asked Mark if he wouldn't mind giving us a tour around the offices, seeing as you need to have a special invitation to go in there. And shall we do that? Should we set up our camera and see if that's okay with him? What do you think, Mark? Would that be okay? What did he say? Did he just ignore me? It seemed to take a while to reply. I guess he must have been a little bit busy. He probably has been the CEO of one of the most internationally recognized technology brands. He probably has a few things going on, and he doesn't need people like me to be messaging him in and saying, "Hello, Mark." And here we go, he replies. So I got a little bit excited, and I thought, oh gosh, I need to go and set up my camera, and maybe we'll do a Facebook call with Mark. Do you know that last question? Are you sure you wouldn't mind? I probably shouldn't have asked it. I should have just gone, right, stay there, don't go anywhere. And here we go. Okay, so let's go and see if we can have a look inside the, well, provided he says yes. Does he say yes? Well, he did say of course. So let's do that. Let's go over. So we're going to go inside for a tour, but I have some questions to ask you. You might want to pause the video at this point. So question number one, what do you think you're going to see inside the Facebook offices, the headquarters, Menlo Park, California, where many people don't get to go? Question number two, how do you think the workspace might be organized? So I've suggested, will everybody have individual offices with doors and windows? Do you think that there'll be just large rooms? Do you think there'll be cubicles? You see this sometimes in movies where they stick their head over the cubicles a little bit. Or do you think it'll all be open plan, desks everywhere, phones ringing, mess surfboards? What do you think? Question number three, we're going to be asking Mark how long the offices have been organized in that way. So how long do you think it may be? Like, maybe how long have they been there? Now, the other thing is, we're going to get to see some desks. So what devices do you think that you might see? Are they all going to be using laptops, iPads, MacBooks? What kind of devices do you think that you're going to see? And then the last one, how do you think that they might be all decorated? Will there be certain color schemes? Will they go for Facebook corporate colors? Or will there be something more exotic like Hawaiian or zany? Will it all be dark with neon lights? So you might want to pause now while you think and ponder on the questions and then think about your answers.
So here what we have is, this is our headquarters. This is Facebook's office. We just moved in here about a couple of months ago at this point, and the thing that's notable about it is it's just this massive open floor plan. So here we can pan around and you can check it out. But basically, just for as long as you can see, people we work out in the open.
It's all open plan, yeah.
At desks, and the whole idea here is that by having an open floor plan where people work close to each other, it facilitates people sharing and communicating about what they're doing, which enables better collaboration, which we think is key to building the best services for our community. So we've worked like this for a long time, and it's been a pretty core way for how we do what we do here at Facebook.
So he gave us the answers, which we're going to go through now. So if you don't already know them, you might want to pause before I tell you the answers. So, question number one asked, what did you think that we would see inside Facebook? Did it look like you expected? A lot of people are surprised. Certainly, number two, it's an open plan environment. We're going to go and look at his desk in a moment. We're going to ask him if he can show us what his desk looks like. But there was no individual offices, or I suppose you could say they were large rooms. Bear in mind that we're just inside one of the 10 buildings or more. There's 45,000 people working there, so there's a lot of workspaces. Definitely no cubicles. I think that's more of a thing that's sort of left over maybe from the 70s or 80s. How long? Well, Mark did say going back some time now it's been organised that way. What devices did you see? Didn't see so many phones. I did see lots of Macs, the Pro, the Mac Pro, the large screen with the large Apple on the back. I saw quite a few of them. And in terms of decoration, it was hard to see from that video, but I couldn't really see any decor, just the odd sticker. It didn't look that exciting. But there are areas like breakout areas with sofas and lounge chairs and all those kind of things. So we might see a little bit more of that later on. Right, I have a few more questions for you. Question number 6. So at Facebook, Mark is a senior staff member, and there's other kind of chief technical officers and other, I forget the names of their roles. Do you think that they have their own private offices? So they can like hire people and fire people, I suppose. Question number 7. Do you think all Facebook employees have their own desk? Good question. And our final question, to make it a bit easier, Mark Zuckerberg is going to show us his desk. Which of these items do you think he may have on his desk, or which may he not have? So we've got books about lasers, Why would he have that? Is he like going to laser somebody or something? A cuddly toy. Snacks and drinks, boxes of chocolates and sugary things to drink. Ooh, some artwork maybe. Or what about some family photos in little frames all over the desk? What else did I say? A Rubik Cube, something to play with or fiddle with when he, can't solve a problem. A Facebook sign in case anybody forgets where it is that he works or who's the boss. A computer, I suppose, so he can work at his desk. And then a desk light. Maybe he works there hacking into the early hours of the morning. So I suggest you pause the video now while you think about your answers and record them. And then we're going to go back to Mark for our face call, and he can tell us the answers.
So here, I'm gonna take you on a quick tour. So this is actually my desk right
Cool.
here.
Show us your desk.
It's, everyone has a desk, even the people who are running the company. It's, there's no kind of special offices or anything like that. Here's mine. I just have a bunch of books here. This is the book that I was just reading for my Year of Books challenge. I have all kinds of other stuff. Here's something that actually someone on our laser communications team wrote. This is his textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Here's just a bunch of interesting stuff. I mean, the folks who designed our updated logo, printed one out of wood. We have a model of a satellite that we're working on.
Satellite,
here's
whoa.
a model of the airplane that is going to be able to beam down internet access that we're working on. So all kinds of cool stuff here. Here, let's look over here. So this is the conference room that I actually spend a lot of my time.
Just hang on there. So, no, they don't have their own private offices apparently, but they do, and all employees do have their own desks. And did you see the things on Zuck's desk? Well, if you didn't, you might want to go back and play that part back again, because I'm going through all the answers now. There was a book about lasers. There was a cuddly toy. It was a dinosaur. You might recognize that as the logo of a Facebook product. There were some snacks and drinks. They tend to be American ones. You might need to go back and see if you can zoom in on what they were. Artwork. Did you see graffitied across his desktop? It says Zuck 1. So his desktop's being decorated in a graffiti style. Now, I didn't see any family photos or a Rubik Cube. I mean, maybe they are there, but I certainly didn't see any. There was a Facebook sign. There was a computer. It looked like a MacBook. And I didn't see any desk light. Okay, one last thing. We're going to ask Mark to show us another part of the office. So, 2 more questions for you to ponder. So, an open plan office, everybody can see what you're doing. What if you need to meet privately with somebody? What if you talk about, do we need to sack Mark or somebody? Wouldn't people listen in? I wonder how that would work. And question number 10. But if everybody can see and hear what you're doing, well, it's kind of the same. Does that not cause a problem? Why would they do this? They're the 2 questions I want to ponder on. And in a moment, Mark is going to tell us the answers. So I suggest you pause now before we hear from Zuck the answers. This is the conference room that I actually spend a lot of my time in when I have meetings at Facebook. So here, let's come on in. At Facebook, no one has offices, right? So I don't work in the office. This isn't where I spend most of my time when I'm at my computer. But I do have a conference room for all the meetings that I do when people come in from outside and I get a chance to talk to them, or for internally when I'm reviewing products or talking to people about what we should be building here. And one of the things that you'll probably notice is that it's all glass. And the reason for this, again, is just that we want to create this very open and transparent culture in our company where everyone can see what everyone else is working on. People can walk by and see the type of stuff that I'm working on or who I'm meeting with. And we think that this facilitates this very open and transparent culture, which again enables us to do our best work. So, that's it. That's our quick tour. That's great. So as you saw, it was a very brief tour. It didn't look at all like I expected. I wonder if you were surprised how different it was. And thanks to Mark for being entertaining and taking us around. We will be returning back because apparently that they have these hackathons there, and we're going to go and visit a hackathon in the future back at Facebook. But there we are for today. Thank you very much. Bye. See you next time.